Hi guys, it's Isabel, and I'm back with another speed paint. Today I'm drawing my Nuzlocke protagonist of my same name in her wedding dress. And if you've seen me draw this before, you know that it always ends up different. I always draw a different dress every single time, without fail. And it's not even just like small differences, it's just I look up wedding dresses and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty, I'm gonna draw this. And then I find a different dress and I'm like, oh, that looks pretty, I'll draw that. So it always ends up looking different. Although some things stay the same, I always keep some sort of strap on there because, you know, it's your wedding and you're gonna want to dance and you can't really do that with strapless dress. It's gonna fall down. I've tried it doesn't work. And I've always made it a ball gown because that's my favorite silhouette. And oh, this hair was a pain in the neck because I couldn't figure out how I wanted to do her hair, even though I said last time that I liked the hair that I drew. But today I changed my mind. Well, yesterday, because I drew it yesterday. And then I'm just like, oh, hey, let's draw it different. And so I'm just like, oh, let's draw it in a braid. And then I'm like, why would she wear her hair in a braid for her wedding? And so I just put it in those little ringlety curls that I added these braids going back. And then I put the little veil in there, although I didn't remember to put it in the line art. I actually did it like last minute. It was like 2:30 a.m. I finished the drawing. I was about to go to bed, and then I like panicked. I opened my eyes. I'm like, wait, she doesn't have a veil on. And so I had to plug my tablet back into my computer just so I could draw that one veil. And you won't notice it because I turned off the recording software and then turned it back on. But, you know, it's what I did. So I guess you're just gonna have to trust me. But it'll just flow regularly for you guys, so you wouldn't know unless I just told you, which I did. Awkward. So I'm working on these little designy details type of things, and I don't really know what to call them. I would call them beading, but they're not really beads. They're not like jewels or crystals or anything. They're like kind of fabricy. I don't want to say embroidered because I don't think that's the word I'm looking for, but it's the closest one I can think of to what I'm actually trying to say. And I'm sure there's a word for it, and if there were a word for it, and I knew the word, I would be able to use it. Like, it's not a word I would forget, but I just don't know the word. I've never been taught it. But anyway, I'm doing these little details, and it was really fun. I tried not to copy it from one dress specifically, so I wouldn't have to worry about any copyright issues. I just drew some things that looked pretty close without being outright copied. I guess that's exactly what I just said. And so I tried to put in all the little lines for the hair here, and that made it look all hair textured and stuff. So that was a success. But it made it a pain in the neck to color. Or I guess in this case, a pain in the wrist. But it's okay because it does look like hair. And I like the little flowery straps that I put in there. I like them. It looks nice. Although I figure it might at least be painful or maybe even itchy. And I didn't put in all those little designs until later because I wanted to do them in like a lighter color so I wouldn't just have these black designs. Because I mean, like, if that's what you want on your wedding dress, you go ahead, you put those on. But that's not what I want for my wedding dress. Or at least that's not what this character wants. But the character's pretty much me anyway. So we want the same things. And it's difficult to explain. Oh, and here I am putting all those little details in. And I did it in a pure white at first, but then I thought, well, it's just gonna blend in if I just put the dress in white. What am I supposed to do? Make an off-white dress for her wedding? No! So I tried to do different things to make it stand out without having to recolor the design. But in the end, I'm just like, let's just make the design slightly off-white, so that the dress itself can be white. And so that's what I did. And it was pretty easy because I put it on its own layer. And These designs were a lot more intricate in my head, but I guess I don't have the mental capability to sit down and do all those pretty details. Maybe it's because I did this at about midnight. I wasn't gonna stop though. I'd started at like 11 o'clock, and then it turned midnight. And I'm like, I don't want to go to bed. I want to finish this. How am I supposed to sleep knowing that this is unfinished? And I forget where I was going with this tangent. But now you know what I was doing yesterday. Well, I guess that now it's today. Huh. And then, because I put it on a separate layer, I just turned the layer off and made it easier to color the dress. Whee! And here, not here, where? Here is where I put it, in the slightly off-white. I'm just playing around with that and seeing how it looks. And it looks pretty neat, at least in my opinion. And then I shaded it. I shaded it on a normal layer, and then since the dress is white, I took that layer, I duplicated it, and I put it on multiply, and then I clipped it to the detail so that they would both be shaded the same way. And then it would keep to the look that these designs are actually on the dress and not floating above it. And like I said, this was difficult to color because I couldn't just use the fill tool like I used for the dress. I had to go around and trace it and then fill it, with it set to layer instead of canvas. And then I put in these little color keys so I would know like what colors I wanted to use for shading and highlight, but then I just used different colors anyway, so like what was the point? But that's okay because it still looks neat. I don't know, I think one of those is a little too saturated, one of the little shading parts. I kind of did more shading than I did highlights, so I guess it was just because I didn't like the colors I was doing for the highlights. There's only one color that I actually sucked up there that I actually liked, and that's the one darkest shading part. So the other colors are just like there. Oh yeah, and then I had forgotten to color in these straps, so I had to do that again. And then moving on to the skin, and I struggled to make it look as red as I wanted it to. I guess that's a problem with my monitor. It makes the skin look redder than it would look on a different monitor. I guess that's just my fault. I actually have no idea how it looks because I'm just going by what's happened with other pictures. Oh no, look, I put the little heart there. Their eyes, oh, isn't that cute? And then I saw all these wedding dresses that had the little gray background, so I wanted to do that. And oh, here I'm colored in the line art, which I haven't done ever yet on this channel. Well, I've done it before, just not on this channel. But now I have. And that was fun. And then once I finished that, I put in the veil underneath everything, except for the background, of course. And I kind of just did it like with the brush on 30% opacity. And then I just did those little lines there and now it was done. So if you like this video, you can give it a like and hit subscribe if you want. I'll see you next time. Have a great Valentine's Day. I love you. Bye-bye.